Hello and welcome to a brand new crew, a brand new adventure in the world of Last Call for Adventure. Crew 4 is about to be lit, y'all. I just have so
Mhm.
many good feelings about this crew. We're throwing poor words are hard. We're throwing poor Criken into the deep end here since I actually think Criken has no clue what the rest of the group is playing, all according to plan, I believe, because Strippin was pretty evil and wanted it to kind of play out this way. So I'm looking
I can't
forward
believe I'm
to.
being blamed wholly for this. It was a group decision. I'll take it though. I'll take it though. I'll take it.
It was all
I feel like
Striken's
you're the one who
fault.
started it, though. It was like that.
Oh, I
Let's all
definitely,
work.
yeah, I definitely poured the poison into every beer, but you
You're like the worm tongue, the Grima worm tongue of the group,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
perfect. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited for you to meet our Grima worm tongue. Before we go into the world, though, let's meet our wonderful players as well as the characters they are playing. We'll go in clockwise direction. Take it away, Sam. You're first.
Hi guys, I'm Sam or Strippin. I'm gonna be playing Church. Um, he's a mean guy. He's a mean guy. He's a tall, well-built man, shaved head, scar over the eye, gold tooth, all that good stuff. We'll have to find out more when we get into it. Thanks for having
Amazing.
me.
Thanks for being here. Last time we played was a blast.
Last time we played was the one shot, right? And I was the bard.
Yeah. Yeah. And you ended up
And you were
marrying
and I
one of my
married that little
NPCs.
I married your goblin and we rode off into the sunset. It was beautiful. True love. Yeah. No, I remember that game.
This is so good. So
This
amazing.
is this
Well,
campaign will be nothing like that at all.
I was gonna say, that bard was all about peace and love, and,
It was peace and
church
love.
is decidedly not.
No.
Uh, but a stark contrast to church. Uh, Tim, who are you and who are you playing?
Oh, hi, I'm Timmac. I'm a role player, and I'm playing Ragnar Steelbrow. He's going to be a dwarf barbarian, and what do we say? He's like born from a corporate world into being released into the wild or something with no knowledge of anything or something. You guys are going to be babysitting. I think
Yeah, a
that's
little
kind of
bit
the
of a
idea.
nepo baby. A
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit of a nepo baby, kinda
yeah.
worked for his dad for a long time. For our audience, if you've been following along, with Last Call, you may have heard of the Meridian Company. But if you're new, don't worry. We structure these, so that you can kind of jump in with every crew and learn along with our players. And, Momo, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Momo. I'm a freak of nature on Twitch, and I will be I will be playing Weiss Edart. She is a changeling bard of whispers. And I'm excited. Her current form is a tabaxi. She uses that for corporate gain. I mean, she works in corporate as a tabaxi, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna take on as many visages as I can.
Fantastic. And last but not least, Criken, who are you and who are you playing?
Hi there, I'm Criken, streamer, role player, aficionado of all things in the world. And I'm playing uh, Truffle Fungalhorn,
I
who is
fucking knew it,
a.
dude. I knew it.
What do you mean you knew it? I posted about it in the group. Like, it was clear
No,
what
I
my
no,
character was.
I called it before you made it. Go
What
on
did
though.
you call? What did you call?
It's
No,
fine.
go on.
No.
I want to hear.
Huh? I just said
What do you
like
think
we
my
would all be like
character is?
dwarves and humans, and then you would come out with something unhinged, like because they
He
give you
did
access to
say
every
it.
race. I said that
Yes.
you would take absolute liberty with that. Now, please continue. I want to see if I'm
Right.
right.
I was shown the list of like milk toast characters you guys came up with, and I'm like, all right, I guess I'm swinging for the fences here, and we came out
I
with
told you, Bronze.
Truffle Fungalhorn, and so you don't know anything about him. He's a totally normal, deep gnome, and that's all there really is to say, right? I think you'll find out the rest in person.
Amazing, amazing. Can't wait to meet Truffle. And with that, we're off to the races. So here we go. Y'all ready? I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was looking for my dice and then realized I didn't need them because we're using a digital dice roller, which I totally don't hate.
Is there a specific screen I should be looking at?
Yeah, you can with there's like a little city overview for the roll 20 page.
Okay, on roll 20.
Um
Gotcha.
yeah, yeah. But we're probably not going to be using the map today unless something goes like truly horribly wrong.
Theater of the mind,
Perfect.
my dear Criken.
Very well.
Welcome to Lufton. Beautiful, the jewel of the Carnelian Sea. Unfortunately, today we're not going to spend much time admiring the airships lazily drifting into Zenith Station, overburdened with all types of silk goods and foods from across the way. As the sun rises over a day that promises to be unpleasantly hot, you are carted off to Humbltuck. This is a small town to the west of the city. In fact, as you look through the bars of the back of the cart, you can see the shining minarets of Lufton behind you. And as you look through the front, where between the rider's legs, there's like a small window where you can look out. You see the heads of two cloven-hoofed creatures that are pulling your cart, and you see Humbltuck. You probably know a little bit about this town. It's super small, west of the city, and it's known for its export of, you guessed it, manure. The town itself is not bad off. The manure business is bustling, business is good, but it's considerably less developed than a lot of the other cities in the region, being primarily agrarian in nature. There are no arcane academies here, unlike Lufton, which is home to the Fourth Pennant, one of the most prestigious arcane academies on the continent. And in places, it's actually been built up rather quickly to accommodate the new facilities being put in. As you look outside of the barred windows, in fact, you can see that people in guild attire from the City Watch of Lufton are hastily sort of commandeering the city, almost as a forward operating base. And since the hamlet has become this fob for the city-state's assault on the Meridian Company, things have been under construction as they've rapidly repurposed hovels and old inns and things like that to become command posts. Now, the Meridian Company, well, recently evidence surfaced of their breach of a charter signed by all of the major members of an alliance called the Far East Alliance. And unfortunately, for all of you, you work for that company. As you're sitting in the back of the cart, kind of bumping shoulder to shoulder, Weiss, your assistant, Philippe, is kind of relaying this information to you. Philippe is very pragmatic, also a tabaxi who is hairless. Because of this, you can see the folds of his skin rather clearly, and his ears are pierced several times with multiple gold rings that jingle as the cart shakes gently every time it hits a bump. He is holding about 3 different clipboards that he's rifling between rapidly as he's like, well, you see, with the company going down west, we find ourselves in rather a strange predicament because, you see, if we do not clear our names in this court, surely we will be summarily executed or put in prison forever. No, but I think maybe we can arrange for some type of lawyer in this hastily sort of assembled wartime court. I don't know the proper word for all of this, but first I want to ask you. Um, in your rider, it does state you. What snacks would you prefer to have while you are on the defendant's bench?
Yeah, Weiss would be listening, right? She's smoking out of this long pipe and she's listening. There's a nod or two as she listens and listens before, right as he stops the talking, she'll raise up her pawed hand and wave at him kind of dismissively. Now, don't you worry none about that. It's gonna go smoothly, all right? Now, when I'm up there, I want to look nice. You get both good sides, all right? I got two. She pats both sides of like her fluffy cheeks on the bottom. And I think
Mm.
I just want something crispy. You know what I like. Just surprise me.
Oh, okay, okay. I will try to arrange this for you. Uh, you know, I have befriended one of the guards. Next time we pull over for a break, I'm going to see if I can ride up front and maybe, you know, talk to them a little bit, lubricate some of the court proceedings, as it were. Uh, I will see what I can do for you.
Oh, well, bless your little heart. Always working so hard for me. I know you'll get the job done. She turns and takes a long drag of the elongated cigarette as she smiles at him.
The smoke is billowing over to you, Ragnar, and it's rather oppressive in this cramped space that you are in. It's becoming rather hard to breathe every time Weiss takes another long drag and blows it, tries to blow it out the window, but it kind of just wafts back into the cart every time, kind of hotboxing the lot of you.
Uh, do you really need that every moment of the fucking day?
Of course I do. She says, like, not even just acknowledging, like, looking over at him. To deal with all of you, I need all I can get.
Well, if it makes you happy, it's driving me mental.
That's perfect. It'll fit your board. She turns away and she'll cross her legs, sitting closer to the window.
As you shift closer to the window, sitting next to you, Ragnar, is another employee of Meridian Company that you surely remember, Llewellyn Marks, a small gnome that is on his best days ridden with anxiety, but on today is especially so riddled with anxiety. Close cropped hair sticking out in all directions, and a penchant for throwing people off their A game just with his very presence. Um, he was one of your executive assistants, who ran odd jobs for Church and you, and is now just like rifling through meeting notes and agendas and occasionally trying to grab one and throw it out the window without the guards noticing. Oh my God, we're all gonna go to jail. It's over. They got so much evidence on us. We got I and I just took the notes at the meetings. I told the guards I was just taking the notes. I was not a part of what y'all were doing, whatever crooked dealings y'all were doing, whatever environmental statutes y'all were breaking. I was just writing it down. That's all I did. I got 6 kids, and now we're all gonna go to jail, or and Ragnar, you're we get it. You're dead, you're probably set, you're rich. What am I gonna do? I make 6 gold an hour. That ain't shit out here. That's nothing. That's nothing. Oh my god. We're all
I
going
guess
to jail.
guess Ragnar will just look over and just kind of smile and he'll say, well, if you didn't bring the evidence with you, you'd be fine. But now you're most likely going in.
But they told me that if I handed it over, they would give me leniency. Church, help me. I know you. Can't you knock off these guards? I've heard you've caught a body or two in your day. Can't you do something about this? You gotta help out little old Llewellyn.
Church is just kind of stuffed in the corner, arms folded. He doesn't want to be here. He's grumpy. You see like a well-built man with a shaved head. He's got a long scar over his right eye that touches his cheek. Stubbled face kind of accentuates his golden tooth smile. And he just goes, "No one's helping you, mate. You're all done." Not me, though. Let's be on to the next job.
You gotta help me, church. I know you probably got connections. Gotta help me. What about you? This Llewellyn's eyes dart over to you. You're a gnome. Us gnomes gotta stick together, brother. You can't leave me like this. These 1%ers, they're gonna get me. I'm gonna take the fall. I'm gonna be the scape gnome. You gotta help me. What are you in for? Did you even work at Meridian? I never seen you in my goddamn life.
So Truffle is also kind of like wrapped up in his cloak. He's got a big old. Are you familiar with the character Toad from the Mario's? He's got a
Yes.
big old toadstool on his head. It's like very large and kind of he hides most of his hair up within it. He's got kind of flowing gray white hair and a big nose, and he's just kind of like glaring at everyone quietly. And when I think an extra moment will pass until he realizes he's being addressed, he doesn't really take social cues very well. And then he'll, I think, look up at the gnome and say, "I've never met you before either. Uh, look, I just do my own thing. I'm here for the shit."
Sir, are you here on vacation?
Well, no. Look, mushrooms grow much better when you plant them in shit, so I might as well go to the source. And you'll see there's like a bunch of these tiny mushrooms that seem to be kind of moving with the cart and with him, like within a radius around him, that are like naturally growing and shrinking at like a very rapid rate.
This man is here for mushrooms. I'm surely going to be found guilty by the tribunal. It's over for me. Miss West, I know you've got away with people. Maybe you can plead to the court for my leniency. I'll throw away these papers that have your
Listen,
name
little
on them.
man, someone's got to take the fall for it, and it's not him, and it's not me, and it's not her. So who's it going to be? Nothing personal. It's just how it is.
Oh,
Oh,
Mr.
bless
Church,
your
you
little
said
heart.
Mr. Church, you said if I got you that implement on the down low, you'd always look out for me.
And I'm looking out for you, don't worry.
Roll a deception check.
Literally just said, "I'm not looking out for you."
Yeah. All right, let's see how this will pave the way. 13.
First roll.
13. It's good enough. Llewellyn Marks sits back a little. Well, okay, if you're looking out for me. Oh, thank goodness. I think they're gonna let us out for a bit to stretch our legs. At this, you see Philippe perk up. Thank God I cannot stand this blabbering for even another minute. And as the guards sort of pull over the cart to the side of the road and open the back door. Two tall half orcs sort of stand guard on either side. You're allowed to get out, do your business, and stretch a little bit. Around you, you can see almost marshlands. The the treads of the cart are deep in the soft dirt of the road. You see little tufts of lichen here and there, and little flies, fruit flies, and mosquitoes kind of hover in thick waves above patches of bog that are rapidly drying under the rising heat of the afternoon sun. It is impossibly hot. Although leaving the cart gives you can occasionally feel the breeze lightly on your cheeks, it still feels like you're gonna burn out here, depending on what type of animal you are. Maybe the sun doesn't bother you that much. You're given a moment to stretch your legs, and you notice Llewellyn briefly contemplating making a run for it, but then looking around and realizing there's clearly nowhere to run or hide for several miles around.
Hey, don't go running off now, all right? He winks at him.
Make an intimidation check.
Is the wink meant to be comforting? Like,
19.
look, I know what I'm
Ooh.
doing. Like,
Oh, shit.
what is the purpose of the wink?
Yeah, with a
Just to
19,
make
it
him more
worked.
uncomfortable. The wink is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
only serves to make him uncomfortable.
Yeah, with the
It can make him
19,
pee himself.
you see Llewellyn, who was previously contemplating leaving, kind of drop any pretensions of doing so, noticing just the sheer size of your bulk, and the wink kind of sets him over the edge. "Oh, I wasn't no, me, I wasn't gonna I have sick kids, Church, Mr. Church, please."
Hey, only guilty men run. So, and then he'll
You
look
all
up, he'll
have
be
a
like,
moment you all have a moment to consult with each other as, unceremoniously, the guards come around and hand you each a heel of bread and a small flask, of water.
this place smells like shit.
I know. It's great.
Ugh.
Where do you think that's coming from? And he's gonna start wandering off to follow his nose.
Oh no.
Church will toss the bread and produce like some salted meat and start like carving it with a knife and eating it instead. Ragnar, keep an eye on that one, mate.
Which one, the toad or the criminal?
Hey, that's the spirit. No, the toad. Because I don't know who the
Alright.
fuck
Why
that
is-
is.
Canonically, you guys don't know what Toad is. You can't call him a Toad.
I mean, he's a little shit. He's smaller than I am, so actually, how
You
tall
look,
is
you
he?
look like a, you look a bit like a toad. What do you want?
All right, all right.
It's no canon, all right.
Yeah, you can call
It's
him
now
Toad if you want.
canon
It's just
that
gonna
toad
be,
exists.
it's gonna become canon.
I think Weiss would call out after him. Now don't go too far. I don't want to get in trouble because you too interested in the lovely smells around. All right?
I don't think
She
he wouldn't
just
recognize
wiggles her
you're talking to
fingers
him.
over her bread. It starts to steam.
Oh, that's cool. He wouldn't see
I
that
think
though because he's still
Ragnar.
walking away.
Yeah, I think Ragnar is gonna just kind of slowly walk after him wherever he goes, just kind of keeping back, trying to keep a long eye on him.
Is this a question for the DM? Is this like
Mhm.
a manufacturing area, like a work camp for that, or I guess what is the surroundings? Are we kind of in an open field, or directly ahead of us is like where we're going to be staying for a while?
Yeah. Far off behind you, you can see the outline of the city, and then far beyond that, I guess closer to you, that would make more sense to put it that way. Words have meaning. You can see the first outcroppings of the buildings of a town that has been rapidly sort of commandeered by the Far East Alliance. One of the cities that is a member of this is Lufton, which has kind of taken up the bulk of this. So you're kind of reaching the outskirts of a city. There's no wall kind of demarcating it. The town of Humbletuck is not constantly under threat, but you are in this sort of lichenous bog, some distance ahead of you, maybe 3, 4 miles out. It's really flat, so you can see for really far. You do see sort of what would be the downtown where the main road kind of leads through the city, but there are small farmhouses and small little buildings dotted throughout. You're kind of going from the suburbs into the main part of the town, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Well,
I
I'll tell
guess
you what,
Truffle will do a
I
little
only just
lap
noticed Criken's
and head
stats.
back.
They're insane.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So above the table, I only just noticed what Criken rolled on his stats, and it's fucking insane.
He's
Yeah,
just good at
it's really
everything.
good. It's
Oh
really
my
good.
god.
Oh, his
What?
rolls were
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
I
What
saw
is
that last night when
that?
I was finishing up.
Look
Yeah,
at
What?
that, dude.
What kind of crap is that? What?
I don't know.
Don't you
Positives
It's
shrug,
across
Truffle.
the
you little.
board.
He just shrugs. Oh, it's nothing.
Absolutely cracked rolls.
What the heck?
The small toadstool capped creature kind of, I guess, bobbles along off the road a little bit. And occasionally you hear one of the guards kind of like look up and go, huh? And then you hear the guards nudge each other. And I guess like Church and Weiss, you would hear this since Ragnar's a little bit closer to Truffle keeping an eye on him. The two of you hear one of the guards pipe up and be like, yeah, I think the three of them are here to answer for working for the Meridian Company, especially that little squirrely one with the paper. Uh, but then there's that one just wanted to come along and see the city, I think, which is a bit strange, but I think we should take him in anyway. You see the other half orc kind of like nod. It's a bit of an unsavory sort. I agree. I think we should take them in anyway. Looking at some of those mushrooms, they might be of the narcotic variety. Mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Might need to take a sample. You see the half orc take out like a large Bowie knife and like start picking at his teeth with it. Might need to take a sample. We can't have drug mules coming in and out of Lufton. For all we know, he was in on the dealings with Meridian Company, probably provided them with some of their more illegal arcane components. You can't trust the mushroom types. Mm-mm. Never met a mushroom I
Damn
liked.
type.
Never met a mushroom I liked.
Josh is gonna wander over. Hey, gents, we gonna move on soon? My fucking head's gonna burn.
Hey, listen here. You might have been a big shot at Meridian, but out here,
Here we go.
you run on our schedule. We don't run on yours.
Hey, listen, your schedule's great. You know, just he'll thumb towards the creature with the toadstool cap. I think he's trying to hook up Ragnar with some narcotics over there. You know what I mean?
You mean to tell me there's a drug deal happening?
Oh no, no, Ragnar would never do anything of that sort. I think that little fella's up to no good. I can tell by the look in your eye. I think you think the same.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
By the way, Truffle's literally picking flowers at this point.
Yeah.
Just looking.
16.
It's a good thing you had advantage because one of those
I
was a one.
know.
The 16. He nods. Oi! You there!
Truffle won't respond.
Shroom! Oi!
He still doesn't respond.
Like jumps down from the rider's seat and comes stomping over. You feel a tap on your shoulder, Ragnar, as the burly half orc is just like, back to your seat, you! And then you feel a hand on your shoulder, Truffle, as you're kind of unceremoniously turned around. What is that? What have you got in your hands?
Flowers.
What kinds of flowers? Yeah,
Maybe
you like to
once.
smoke a little flower from time to time? Is that what this is? Try to take other
Oh.
people down with you?
I mean, only if they're already dead.
They're already dead! If they're already dead!
Yeah.
Are you digging up bodies?
Maybe.
All right. Back in the cart. Back in the cart.
Here? Okay.
With this,
Starts
like,
just walking back.
as you're walking back, he takes both of your hands and manacles them behind your back.
Oh no. He's confused, but like a little uncomfortable, but not like angry, just kind of confused.
You go sit in the corner away from everybody else.
Fine by me. It sits in the corner.
You just watch what you're doing with your dead bodies and such. Unsavory, the lot of them. You see Llewellyn already back in the cart, kind of like shivering. Everyone give me a perception check.
Oh,
What are these manacles made of, by the way?
Probably steel.
Oh, bummer.
where do I go to do this? I'm very inept at this UI.
No, that's okay. So if you look on your character sheet on the left-hand side,
Uh,
in alphabetical order, there will be like your skills in the sort of middle column, and you should be able to just click on it and it'll roll.
okay.
I think I had
How many
advantage.
character sheet is Sam?
Yeah, I'm on this sheet. I don't even see the whole. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so we've got a 10, an 11, a 14, and an 8. So, Church, you're the only one who rolled above a 12. You notice it. You notice some of the papers from Llewellyn's stack are missing. And you notice that Truffle's belongings sitting there, like underneath the bench, are a little bit more full with like an edge of parchment hanging out.
Whoa. Are they like next to him, his belongings?
They're next to Truffle, yes. Mhm.
Yeah. In the carriage.
Mhm.
Church is gonna like rearrange the seating positions in the cabin. He's gonna look at Ragnar. Gonna have a chat with our little friend. He'll hop over next to Truffle and move his belongings to the other side of himself and kind of sit down next to Truffle.
Truffle will look up at you, just kind of with like a neutral look on his face. Hello.
All right, mate, what's your name?
I'm Truffle. Truffle Fungalhorn.
What a nice name. I'm Church.
Thank you. Huh?
So, what brings you to, this place? While he's making small talk, I'm gonna try and rifle through his things with my hand and see what's going on.
Yeah,
On the
give
other
me a
side of
sleight
my
of
body.
hand check. Truffle,
Okay.
give me a perception check to see, and it'll just be an opposed roll.
Sure. Also, I have a question about one of my abilities. Apparently, as a circle of spores druid,
Mhm,
I have a invisible radius of mushrooms around me that I can basically sense things with, or like
mhm.
see. So, would I be able to like? Would that affect rolls like this? Do you think, or is that more around like combat encounters?
I think, let me see here. I'm
I
gonna
can
I'm gonna
post the
read it real quick. So,
yeah.
because you have your circle of spores. Uh, I actually think with churches not one, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Oh
true.
yeah, I meant like for future instances. I'm curious,
Yeah,
but
yeah. Here, I'm pulling it up now. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. I accidentally went to spells. Okay. When a creature you see moves into a space, you gain the ability to channel magic into your spores as an action you can expend. Ah, okay. I would say with the way this is, like, worded, you would have to expend a wild shape to, like, make the spores awake enough to where they would be able to, like,
mm,
detect this. Um, which I
okay,
don't know if you would wanna use that right now, 'cause
yeah,
it
no,
says here you can expend wild shape to awaken the spores. So, I do think
gotcha,
they
gotcha.
have to be, like, awakened in order to potentially detect someone. But regardless,
Okay,
church, you, fumble, and
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
less
is
because
this locked or is it open?
it's I don't know. Truffle, is it like a what does your adventuring bag look like?
it's basically like a really dirty leather satchel. Uh, kind of probably has some moss on it. Uh, not locked. Has no
Mhm.
metal. It's very much just like a nature's knapsack.
Okay.
What is something absolutely weird that would be in your bag that would potentially weird church out? Because this botch is less of a, "Oh, you don't know what you're doing because 'cause you've picked a pocket before church, we know that. This is more
Mm.
of a your hand encounters something that even you are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say like partially decayed remains, probably.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so you reach in to try to, like, maybe, get a feel around,
Yeah,
and
and
your hand
he's reaching in
touches.
a manner that is extremely everyone in the carriage can see I'm reaching into your bag. Like, he's not hiding. He starts looking around, and then he goes, "What the fuck? You know what? You're a
Did you want a
fucking rat.
shroom? You could have just asked.
That wasn't a shroom. What the fuck is in there?"
Well, it's where I grow them. You need to carry good compost with you, otherwise, you may not find some when you get to the next town.
"You're a
That's
freak."
why I'm going to the
He's
ship
gonna get
town.
up and go sit on the other side of the carriage and just leave the bag where it was,
Okay,
and
bye.
then wipes his hand on his tunic.
As you wipe your hand, you basically wipe the equivalent of animal soup, like carcass soup
Yeah.
across your tunic, and the smell kind of nauseates the rest of you. Poor Wise.
She's
True.
mortified, just sitting in the corner, like, "Well,
He looks down and goes, "Oh,"
The cart
He's gonna.
continues.
forgetting about the
Oh,
papers
yes.
entirely.
Huh?
I was gonna
He
say,
forgets about the
Truffle
papers
holds his.
entirely after the
does it
Yeah.
smell?"
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
It's not.
Oh,
It's
Oh
not
yeah,
great.
I think
this is
It's more
probably a
mulchy, like
raunchy
earthy,
ass
crunchy,
area, right?
mulchy. I'd say than rotten. But once you like take the rotten stuff out, then it's more rotten smelling.
Yeah, I think
Mm.
It's
Weiss would kind of lift her hand up that isn't holding the long cigarette, and she just kind of moves it over like towards him, waving away. And she's gonna cast Presby to make it not stink.
he's not going to
Just
recognize
starts
the
to smell
discomfort
like
of
beautiful
everyone.
flowers.
Wait, is this you doing it to my
He likes
tunic?
that.
Yes.
Perfect.
Now that's a bit better.
Thank God for that.
I mean, it's gonna smell like manure everywhere too, isn't it? Just didn't you say it's like
Not
a
Yeah.
inside
factory for
here. From 5 feet inside here, it smells real good.
it?
True. Weiss does the D&D equivalent of a Febreze in your
Yes!
immediate area, and you are able to temporarily get some respite from what was an earthy, mulchy smell to a more rotten smell to something that's, like, a little bit more floral. Weiss, you notice that Philippe is actually now sitting in the rider's seat with the 2 guards and is conversing with them pleasantly. "Oh, yes, I see, but you have to understand we are all, victims of our employers, I'm sure the people you work for make you," and just kind of trails off as he's chatting along with the 2 guards. The cart trundles along down the road until eventually you find yourselves in the heart of Humbletuck. Uh, the let me take a beat there. There we go. The city state of Lufton is trying or in the process of rapidly absorbing all of the Meridian Company holdings. And they're attempting to act quickly so they can kind of be at the head of this endeavor and position themselves as the gem and the crown of the Far East Alliance. Because although they are allied, there's still some competition amongst them. Because of this, you see a lot of the dwarves of Lufton have kind of taken up positions around the small, somewhat humble buildings in Humbletuck. As the truck is carted around to the front of what used to be a town hall and is now somewhat of a war tribunal, you are carefully escorted inside in single file and unceremoniously placed in line behind about 3 other people. The judge is an imperious looking Aarakocra, very distinguished. Um, their feathers are have seen better days. They look a little battered and worn, maybe from battle, maybe from something else. And the bailiff announces as you walk in, Judge Cormarine presiding. Everyone stands, and the judge, sort of smoothing out their robes, sits down unceremoniously and goes, "Well, let's start then. Yes. Let's see, what do we've got here? Yes, okay. Racketeering, evidence tampering. You there? Yes. Are you? And you hear a very small halfling say, Allison? Yes, Allison, Ballison, I don't know. 2 years manual labor. And you hear the gavel come down unceremoniously as a weeping Allison is taken away. You feel a tap on your shoulder, Ragnar, as you're standing in line, awaiting to also be summarily judged in this fashion.
Mhm.
And as you turn to look, you see another dwarf with a shaved head, bright red sideburns that come down and are braided underneath their chin into a sort of a makeshift beard. And you recognize this man as Barnabas, a good friend of your father's.
All right. So do it. Would a good friend of the father is okay, and it is. We're being tried as well? You're saying
Yes.
in this
You're not
courtroom?
sure what you're accused of yet.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Uh, all right, Barney. So why are we all here?
Barney kind of leans in almost as though he's trying to pretend like he's not talking to you. And you notice that he is wearing guild officer attire from Lufton, being on the other side of this war, as it were. His oiled hair catches the shine of the lanterns lighting up this makeshift courtroom, and he says, "Well, now, Rags, this is gonna be a tough one for you. You see, your father's company has fallen afoul of some of the charter, and unfortunately, since you were in charge of the Meridian Lumber Camp, you and your lot are gonna become well, you may be implicated in some of the things that your father may have done wrong. Are you aware of some of the stuff that your old paps was doing down there?"
Well, seeing as I guess Ragnar had some experience with the City Watch, he would understand that you wouldn't fess up to anything. Um, they'd have to prove it on their own, kind of thing. So he'll just say, "What my father does is his own business," and then just kind of
Mhm.
just let that fly and not really fess up.
Well, unfortunately for you, Rags, that's gonna become your business a little bit soon here. But I'm um, I'm gonna make my exit here, and I'm gonna try to help you out. I'll be back in a bit. Just hold out for me.
Easy enough.
All right,
So
we're gonna
okay.
get you out of here.
Church
Taps you
wants
on
to
the
use
shoulder.
it.
Spicy.
Can I use my observant feat to read this entire conversation?
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah.
You read the situation clearly, and you see how the cards are gonna fall. Being the CEO's son, you get the feeling that Ragnar is gonna be able to finagle a way out of here, and you may
Mhm,
go the way of Llewellyn, who is only one ahead of you.
mhm.
Truffle, all of this is rather confusing to you, as the guards, seeing that you are also carrying evidence in your bag, unceremoniously push you in line behind the rest. You see as verdicts are handed out, people in front of you, some of whom, those of you who worked for Meridian Company, uh, some of whom you recognize kind of weeping as they accept their fates. You would know, Weiss, Ragnar, and Church, that some of them are probably innocent and some of them maybe a little more guilty of some of the nefarious things they've been accused of. Weiss, you are kind of gently pushed with one arm to the front to the defendant's stand. Roll 2d6 to determine how many counts you're guilty of.
Oh no. It could be 12 counts. Hey, I'll
Ooh.
take it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
3 counts. And now give me a d10 roll.
Oh.
I've created a table for all of you.
Amazing.
Oh.
A 5. A 5 is, oh, this is perfect. Identity theft.
How did they know?
That is actually that is really
Hey,
good.
That's amazing. It's
it's actually perfect.
so perfect. It's so perfect. It's not even funny. It's so perfect.
That's amazing.
Since you're upper management, instead of being summarily judged, instead, the prosecuting attorney comes out. An angry goblin wearing an elaborate wig with a tufted suit comes striding out, lacquered shoes, clip clapping across the worn wood of the floor. You know him as Percival Fonst. Now, one can sit here and speak all day of the various atrocities most likely committed by this Weiss Edard, the so-called face of the Meridian Company. Now, once again, I would like the court to just take a moment to take stock of the irreparable damage that the Meridian Company has done to the environment, to the charter, to the peace between the different city-states of the continent. Surely they have no love for anything other than the almighty gold coin, Your Honor. Now I ask you, wouldn't the face of this company be at least somewhat held responsible for trying to clean up an image that I would say is impossible to clean? That aside, I will deal with the facts and evidence at hand and hope that the judge will see reason today. For I am pursuing the max sentencing of 6 years in prison, with bail posted at 10,000 gold pieces. Now, you may be wondering, what evidence do we have at hand? I have it on good authority with multiple signed witness statements that this Weiss Edert is not Weiss Edert at all, but indeed has assumed different faces, all to illegally carry out dealings on behalf of the Meridian Company. Now, Weiss would have you believe that they are an unassuming, sweet southern tabaxi. But the truth is a bit more nefarious. 3 different counts of identity theft. And here I have signed statements by the families of those whose identities were stolen, claiming that Weiss carried out businesses, falsified documents, all of these. Now, how they were able to carry out such a subtle deception, I have no idea, but I would ask of thee, Judge Cormarine, should a menace like this be allowed out on the streets? Absolutely not.
Couldn't have been that so.
I yield my time to the court.
Yeah, I imagine Weiss is just sitting on the stand, just like otherwise poised, right? Her very listening, very there's no like facial objections or anything. She's just listening very intently to what they have to say.
The judge, whoa. What do you have to say for yourself? We said art.
Why, my most implorable judge, I'm not sure I know exactly what, well, Mr. Ponce is saying here. I, for one, took a very large care into the people that worked into the company that I also worked for. If you have a list of these names of people whose families feel such a way, I would gladly set it straight with all the information I can provide.
And this company that you claim to be such a staunch advocate of, were you aware of their legal dealings? Are you aware of why you are here today?
Oh heavens. I was just a face. All they would do is doll me up and parade me around. I did perfectly at the job, of course, but I was none the wiser to any nefarious dealings going on inside. Heavens, they wouldn't tell a little old lady like me. No.
Roll a
She like
persuasion
makes
check.
eye contact with the persecuting attorney, just looking at him. These like sharp, pale, like piercing eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, where's persuasion? Oh god, I almost cast dissonant whispers. Oh god.
That would
That would have been a little bad.
Ooh.
Well, I suppose, Fonst, gather your witnesses and we'll move this case to the bottom of the docket. Weiss, you may have a seat. Miss Eddard, in one of the stands, and we'll come back to you. Next!
She would
And Judge
stand and
Cormarine,
bow
yeah,
very graciously to the judge as she lifts up her long, like, red dress and will step down from the stand.
Philippe slides into the seat next to you and goes, Madame, that was perfect. I think they are going to call these witnesses, and maybe we can convince these witnesses to retract their statements when they come. There is
She
an
will,
opportunity here for us to get this case thrown out.
she'll lean down very gently with like this remorseful face, but her words are sharp as she whispers back to Philippe, well, of course, we have on record, videoed record, that these individuals left of their own accord. Of course it'll get thrown out, darling. She just sits back up and crosses her leg gently with a soft smile.
With a swift hand from the judge, Church, you are called forward.
He comes forward, kind of clasps his hands in front of his body.
Roll 2d6.
I'm about to hit 12. All right, that's not bad.
4. Not bad, not bad. Let me see. I should also keep notes of these.
A 9 on my D10.
A 4 and a 9. Give me a second D10 roll.
That's not good.
A 9 and a 4. Okay. So for the 9, you have 2 counts of money laundering and
Okay.
2 counts of industrial espionage.
Okay, checks out.
All right. That's perfect. Okay. Once again, Percival Fonst, this time a little bit more red in the face, his dark green eyes venomous at Weiss's case not immediately being ruled on, directs all of his ire towards you, Church. Now I ask the court, would a man of repute, would a man of good standing and honor have a name like Church? No last name, just Church? I would like to tell the court that this man is not a man at all, but a menace. This man is a threat hired by the Meridian Company to enforce their will upon the good, peaceful citizens of Loftum and the region beyond. Now, his name may be Church, but he is not a holy man, I tell you, Judge. This man is a man of pure evil. We'll be pursuing the max sentencing of 8 years, hard labor, no bail. You cannot say the name Church without shivers being thrown up the spines of the Meridian Company employees themselves. Now, we do not have the evidence to prove that this man is guilty of union busting, but we have him on other counts for sure. This man has misappropriated funding, claimed that the companies took losses where they were making money hand over fist. And in fact, I have here in the court's presence a witness. Someone who came to me just minutes ago with evidence that can prove that this man that goes by the name Church, helped cover up illicit money and made it look like it was coming through the company's clear channels, money laundering, and in fact, spied, infiltrated into various industries and holdings carried out by the Far East Alliance and carried this information back to the Meridian Company so that they could illicitly benefit from it. I'll call my witness to the stand, a Mr. Llewellyn Marks. Llewellyn, swirlily.
Oh no!
Sweating buckets, takes the stand, has to walk by you, and shifts as far to the side as he possibly can as he does. I'm Llewellyn Marks, and I solemnly do declare that I will tell the truth and nothing but I have 6 kids. I would never lie. I I have I I have paperwork here that that Mr. Church in a meeting did sign and say was true that that he was going to um create a fake business, a facade, as it were, uh, to so that the company could claim that we were making in profit from these taverns, but these taverns were actually running at a loss. You see, it's a mostly cash based business, so they were able to fudge the ledgers. And I have it here in the meeting minutes that when I asked Mr. Church if this was illegal, uh, he told me to mind my fucking business. And, um, before he minded it for me, um, so, um, I and see if you see here, this signature does, match his on the ledgers, and, I have 6 kids, please. Percival Faunst, like, kind of click clacks the lacquered shoes over to you, holding aloft the piece of paper, or the piece of parchment, I should say, having taken it from Llewellyn Marks, holds it in front of your face. Is this your John Hancock, Mr. Church?
Nope.
This gives Percival Faunst like pause. He's like,
Looks like someone else's, Percy.
I will ask you once again, Mr. Church, is this your mark?
Maybe I wasn't looking at her. Let me get a good look. Nope.
Did you or did you not work at the Two Twin Tails Tavern between summer of last year and spring of this year as their booking manager and accountant?
Nope. Do I look like an accountant to you? Be honest.
No,
No.
no, you do not. You look like a criminal hired to be a shady accountant to fudge the books.
Do you know who looks like an accountant? That little fucker up there.
Is he playing a truffle?
No, he's pointing at Llewellyn.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he isn't again.
So let me get this right. Mr. Church, do you claim that it was not you who fudged these books, but indeed it was Mr. Llewellyn Marks himself?
I'm not claiming anything. Judge, if I may. I'm hired to protect Mr. Ragnar Steelbrow. I don't handle money. No work goes through me. Simply handle the protection of a young man who's trying to better himself. And if I can attest to his character, he is a very good young man. And any dealings that have happened in this company have no doubt gone on around and underneath him to sabotage his well-being. That aside, I've never run a bookie. And I have it. Well, I'd say there's about 4 witnesses to Mr. Llewellyn sweating buckets in the carriage on the way here, saying that he was going to get in trouble for something. What that might be, I don't know. But those forms, I don't know where they came from. They're not mine. Maybe your witness isn't that credible after all, eh?
Mm.
And as for the other evidence that you don't have, well, not sure how that's going to go. Not to mention you attacking my character and my name.
Literally, yeah, actually. Fonst reassesses his approach for a moment and says, Your Honor, regardless of whether Mr. or not Llewellyn Marks carried out this money laundering himself, or whether Church did, I think it just further proves my point that this entire corporation is rotted into the ground. And Mr. Church himself was a fundamental sort of supporting structure of this entire rotten company. He stands here and admits himself he is the right-hand man of the person running the Meridian Lumber Camp. The Meridian Lumber Camp, which not only dealt with illegal mining operations under the guise of just being an unassuming lumber camp, exposing its workers and the nearby population to arcane material, arcane flux, so potent in nature, it caused an entire tribe of people to grow ill. It caused the very local flora and fauna to begin to mutate. And here, this man stands agreeing that yes, he did everything in his power to empower this man, Mr. Steelbrow, to carry out these nefarious operations. Now he claims ignorance. He claims he wasn't a money man. But, Your Honor, when you have a gold tooth in your mouth, how can you claim that you don't care about money? And even if we can't get these money laundering charges to stick, let's talk about the industrial espionage charges. We have 3 sketches by eyewitnesses claiming to have seen Church going into one of the guild forges and coming out with schematics. Schematics that we then saw put into production at the Meridian Lumber Camp. This man here not only stole these blueprints, but gave them to Meridian so they could ruthlessly profit off of them. The judge kind of rifles. Is this
Your
true?
Honor, I am a knight. I have an oath. And on my oath, neither me nor my charge have committed any form of crime. Had he done so, my oath would have bid me elsewhere. And as for the sketches, I mean, there's plenty of bald guys out there working in factories. I fail to see how every bald guy could be me. This seems a bit ridiculous if you ask me, Your Honor.
Yes, this all seems to be rather mushed together. You, Mr. Steelbrow, step forward.
All right, so Ragnar walks up.
Roll 2d6.
Oof. Okay, that's not bad.
5, and then give me 2d10 rolls.
And 2d10 rolls? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
A 7 and a 3.
It's hilarious how we've rolled different crimes like every time.
Yeah. Okay. A 7 is intimidating a witness, and a 3 is evidence tampering. So you have 3 counts of evidence tampering and 2 counts of witness intimidation. As you step up, the judge kind of rifles back and forth between 2 different scrolls, one with your charges on it, Church, and the other with yours, Ragnar. So you claim that Mr. Steelbrow, you who are accused of evidence tampering and witness intimidation, you would claim that your knightly oath, Mr. Church, would deem that none of these things happened and that the court simply imagined them. This is your argument for yourself.
Your Honor, I do not accuse the court of imagining anything. As we've seen from Mr. Llewellyn, very clear that some of this evidence might be fake.
And Mr. Steelbrow, what do you have to say to these charges?
Seeing as once again he's part of the City Watch, without the evidence, I don't believe I need to say anything.
Oh. This is an interesting defense of yourself. Someone accused of evidence tampering, claiming to desire better evidence. Mr. Steelbrow, are you aware that you're accused of asking your employees to burn records upon hearing that this tribunal would take place?
Your Honor, all records are to be disposed of in that manner. It was just a coincidence that we happened to be disposing of old records at the time that this court summons happened. There's no link or correlation. And whoever suggested so, well, maybe they're the person you should be looking at.
Mr. Church, at this, actually, Percival Fonts pipes up. So, Mr. Church, you're admitting that you did destroy records.
No, not records. What do you think happens to old inventory manifests? Or notes? We can't just keep everything. You burn it. Everyone does it.
At this, Fonst, with almost like venom in his voice, in an insulting fashion, looks down at you and says, "And is it company policy to destroy evidence or records after a subpoena has been issued and received by the party in question?"
Well, that's the thing, Your Honor. You say Mr. Ragnar Steelbrow didn't receive the subpoena.
Because you broke the legs of the man that was hired to subpoena him!
You're gonna need some evidence.
Sir, Your Honor, these people, they are inhuman. They are monsters. They are animals that have to be brought to heel. Their power, their corruption, it knows no end.
Ragnar's going to speak up
You see
here.
what these people have done to me. And Percival Fonts at this point is like spit is flying everywhere. You know, the wig has become a little bit askew.
Ragnar's going to say, Your Honor, Mr. Church is correct. I've yet to receive a subpoena. Until this very moment, I had no idea why I was here.
It's highly irregular.
You see the prosecutor like wipe the sweat from his brow. Every witness threatened. Every court official sent with summons disappeared or mysteriously in the medical ward. But I have one witness who can bring this all down, who can prove before this court beyond a shadow of a doubt, beyond any single shadow of a doubt, that this vine is rotten to the core, down to the very roots. But speaking of rotten, Your Honor, I must confess, this small mushroomed man, they are not on my docket, and I do not know the charges that are supposed to be brought against them. I must only assume that he is some type of intern for this company. It's not, what is your name, sir? You're not on the docket today.
Truffle, after a pause, is going to realize they're talking to him, and he's just going to hold up his little hands with the cuffs and say, Can you help?
The bailiff comes and casts knock, and the manacles fall uselessly to the ground.
Thank you. I'm Truffle. I'm Truffle Fungalhorn. That's it.
The judge kind of looks over at you, feathers like still ruffling with like almost some static electricity. And you, young Fungalhorn, how did you find yourself in the company of such a sordid lot?
I don't really know. I was on the cart, and I got off the cart to pick some flowers, and then they put these on me, and now I got back in the cart, and now I'm here. Is this the shit town?
Oh, we haven't been called shit town for an odd 120 years. You go by Humble Tuck now.
Oh, okay. But you do have shit still.
We do.
Do you do tours?
As you ask if they do tours, Llewellyn speaks up out of nowhere, kind of in the front row now, seated with some distance between him and Weiss, and he says, "Actually, Your Honor, if I could just say, in fact, it was the Truffle Fungalhorn was involved in a lot of the if you could just take a look inside their bag, you will find the remains of not only a court document that they're trying to hide, but also the remains of Church's victims. there is so much organic matter in there. I would beg the court to avert their eyes. But this man, this is a twofold operation, Your Honor. This is a twofold operation. A church kills him, and the truthful decomposes him, and they've got a mushroom racket. And if you look, there's missives in there, records of payment between church and Steelbrow and bribery happening for some of the people in the Luftham City Guard. In the Luftham City Guard, this goes all the way. This goes all the way down. They were paid to turn a blind eye. They were paid to turn a blind eye to the happenings at the Meridian Lumber Camp, and up until such a time that another guild was dispatched with the likes of Rhesus and a Lord Wyman, until that's such a time, and a Mr. Blibble, they were the first people to and I have 6 kids, and I would swear on every one of their heads that
Judge is gonna say had 6 kids and nothing else.
At this, Llewellyn just like stops and instead descends into a blubbering ball of and just like stops talking altogether. The judge kind of turns pointedly towards you, Church, and is like, I'd ask you to keep your intimidations to a minimum.
No intimidation was meant, Judge. I apologize.
If you may hand over your bag to the court, Mr. Fungalhorn.
What did I do?
Your bag, sir.
Okay. And he'll hand over his bag. Can I have it back after?
See Percival Fonts to move forward. Open the bag with some disgust. And then pull out documents. Each with the Meridian Company seal. Now rapidly sort of like the ink kind of smearing, looking somewhat destroyed, other than that wax seal on them from being in your bag just for the 3 hours that they were on the road. And without saying a word, he holds it up pointedly to the court and places it on the judge's stand, handing the rest of the bag back to you.
Thank you.
Bodies, evidence. Clearly, we now know who the bag man is.
Your Honor, we met this man today. Don't you find it a little suspicious that there's documents in his bag, and the only person that knows about them is that little fucker?
Well, I, for one, am not frightened of this church, for as a church-going man myself, I know that I'm true in my convictions.
Amen.
And my next witness will attest to everything I have said here today, as well as to the good character of Mr. Llewellyn Marks and the case he's brought before us. First, I would ask for a quick recess from the court, just for a moment, so that we can just have a quick little lunch break. A little hungry. We've been going for quite a few hours here. And so, as the court recesses, so too shall our game. And we'll be back.
It's nice.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow. Immersive.
See what you did there.
Yeah, it went perfectly. I timed it out perfectly. Thank you so much for checking us out. We'll be right back after a quick break. Stretch your legs, get some water, get a snack, and court will be back in session in 10 minutes, I think. Yes, 10 minutes. You find yourselves in a well-appointed office with the tapestries of the Luftum guilds kind of hanging off the walls. You know of these guilds, but are not a member of any of them yourself. Across a long mahogany table around which all of you are seated sits Barnabas, Uncle Barney, as you know him, Ragnar, adjusting his glasses and kind of stroking his mutton chops that have been braided into a beard. Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. It would seem, Ragnar, that your aunt has proverbially shit the bed. That star witness they're about to call up.
Shit.
Quite so,
Now,
little man.
Hungerhorn, calm down. This is very
Okay.
serious. She
Is it tour time?
No, sure, it will be later. Calm down.
Okay.
Kind of like pats
Goes
his
back and
head,
sits
but then
back
wipes
down.
her hand off on the
Yeah,
chair he's in.
it's slimy.
Lord, have mercy. Oh, she just wipes her hand on his chair. Oh, bless your heart.
Ragnar will try to get back on track. So
Yeah.
about my end.
Well, I know that her and your father get along at the best of times, but right now is not the best of times. That witness they're calling up is her. And she fully intends to expose this whole thing as it is. And, well, Regs, your father, well, he just wanted you to have this. He hands over a piece of paper, a piece of scrap paper hastily scribbled. You realize immediately upon unfolding it that it is his handwriting. And hastily scrawled are simply the words, "Well, son, sometimes you got to take one for the team."
Ooh.
And we might need to remove a brick rather than letting the whole foundation crumble.
I guess so Ragnar will look at this and kind of look over to Church and say, what do you make of this, Church? And hand it over to him.
Well, mate, who's the brick?
I was thinking the
You
same
or
thing.
your aunt?
Well, hopefully make it her this time.
What's the kind of situation we're in right now, Rons?
Yeah.
Where are the gods? Where are we?
Outside of this office that Barnabas has sort of commandeered for all of you, there is a pretty large, sprawling inn full of aficionados. You walked past the lobby downstairs where there were members of the various guilds sitting at every table. Probably about 25 total. You're sort of in the middle of a makeshift military camp.
Okay.
So would Barnaby? I guess I'll ask Barney.
Yeah.
So Barney, what exactly does she have that you know yourself?
Well, son, I don't know how much of it is legitimate, but I know that she's going to tell them what they want to hear. She's got some letters between you and your father. I don't know how she came across them, but they don't look too good for you. She's also got some flux crystals. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, Ragnar, but your pops was mining some illicit materials just outside of the lumber camp. Now, these crystals go for quite a bit of money. They can be used for all kinds of warlike applications. They're rather unstable in nature, though. And from what I know, what my sources tell me, she's got a crate of them with your lumber camp's seal imprinted on them. Doesn't look good, kid. Now, whether or not you knew it was happening, with you being in charge of the lumber camp. Sorry, my tabaxi is here. With you being in charge of the lumber camp. This isn't going to go well for you. But I think I've got a solution.
All right, go on.
Well, I'm pretty high up amongst the guilds in Loftum. And I know that at the end of all this, it's less about retribution and justice. If you'd be willing to leverage your position and standing within the company to get in deep at headquarters and provide some destabilization efforts for the whole company, not only would you get off the charges, but you'd probably be a shoe-in for a parallel position in Lufton. Now, this would mean moving against the company that your dad worked so hard to build, but between you and me, Rags, I think it might be in its death knell either way. That company's going down. The Far East Alliance will see to that. And it's up to you to determine when that house crashes whether or not you want to be on the bottom of the foundation or on a yacht headed to another company picnic, if you catch my drift.
Oof. So the option is take down the company or take the fall.
Yep.
Wait, so just to clarify, killing the boss's sister is off the table.
Trying to do that here may be a bit difficult. If it were to happen in the midst of your adventurings, I suppose it'd be difficult to pin on you, knowing the clarity of your work, Church.
Now let's go where I'm paid.
Well, the guilds pay well. There might be a way for you to set up on your own endeavor or join another lucrative endeavor at the end of all this. But if you go in that courtroom and you stay loyal to the Steel Brows, you're going to be that brick, Ragnar. They'll say it was all you. They'll say they had no clue that you were doing all this. And they'll draw this out.
You don't want to be that prick, mate.
Yeah, I don't think so either. What type of sentence would they come out with?
Well, they're looking at 4 to 6 for Wes. They're looking at 6 to 8 for Church. I don't know how that poor little fungus boy got wrapped up in this, but he's looking at 3 for destruction of evidence.
3 what?
3 years
Oh. Where?
in a labor camp.
Oh.
A
Shit
dry,
camp?
hot place where they have you crack rocks all day and shovel shit. Actually, you
Oh.
might like it there.
Oh, okay. Yes. I agree.
Well, that seems pretty fine. You can have my 4 that they're trying to pin on me.
Okay.
But for you,
Weiss like
Ragnar,
claps her hands together.
as
If I
the
give them
head
what
of
they
all
want,
this,
we can exonerate them all.
yeah, they'll probably knock the entire sentence down or dismiss it altogether. You were the head of one small splinter operation. But the roots of this tree grow deep, and it's that big money and that big payout that the Far East Alliance wants. You can offer them up that.
Now,
Time to
with
sing like
the
a fucking canary, mate.
I'm curious with the logging camp, would Ragnar know exactly this stuff was going on?
That's up to you.
Oh, okay. Um, I'm gonna choose to say like no. There was some sort of like like he's the father has put like people in there to do that without
Oh,
his knowledge of
100%.
it.
Church
Yeah.
might have
Okay.
been one of those people.
Church
Right.
is one of those
Okay.
people. I'm just gonna let you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything
In
they say
my
about
mind,
church is
that's the
true.
case. Yeah, church maybe like even like, kind of distracted you or hid stuff from you, but all the while was like kind of working for your dad instead of you, even though you thought he was working for you. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I guess he'll feel slighted by the idea of it all, and kind of just start realizing that this is his father's doing to make Ragnar take the fall for him, and he's gonna, he'll say,
I actually want to
"Well,
ask real
tell him."
quick, Weiss,
Sure.
do you think you knew?
Oh, I'm sure she knew. She would rub elbows very well with, but she's playing the absolute deniability because
Right.
yeah, she did know, but she's just the
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
She's just the sweet cover girl.
So poor Ragnar is the only one who didn't know. Is
Objection.
actually innocent.
Truffle did not know either. Truffle has no idea what's going on.
Facts, yeah.
True.
Yeah.
She's over here trying to get him to sign documents that he did the identity theft.
Yeah,
Here, take
yeah.
these.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, don't enable my character's terribleness. Don't do that.
So Ragnar's noticing that Church is saying to sing like a canary, so he's got his best interest at heart, but he's still not sure about her, and he
Mhm.
knows that Truffle has no clue what's going on. So, yeah, I'll say, well, tell them what they want to hear then, and he'll agree to giving the information about the company on at least the logging camp from his point of view.
Barnabas nods and starts like snaps to one of his assistants to start drawing up the papers. This is how this is going to go. We're going to make it look like you've been found innocent of your charges. We're going to make it look like Your aunt's evidence didn't stick. And we're going to send you back home to base camp. There, you will be expected to ingratiate yourself with the family business and give us information. We have a couple of agents embedded within the home operation, but they can't help you much without risking their own positions. They will do anything to make sure they don't blow their cover. So you have to make sure you do anything not to blow your cover. Now, I don't know how long it's been since you've been to headquarters. I'm assuming not since you left home for college. But that's what the Far East Alliance wants. Meridian Isle, where Meridian HQ is located. If you can get in, dismantle the operation, or give us evidence to dismantle the operation, Luftum will obtain this Meridian Isle. Now, this island is a great defense holding for anybody that claims it. But we need legal founding to claim it. The charter, as it's written, states that if a party found violating the charter is found guilty of wrongdoing, their operation will be summarily disassembled and the surviving parts are to be distributed amongst the other members of the alliance, with the justice initiating party having first dibs, as it were. Now, you see how that has gone down here. And sure enough, you see all of the city-state of Luftum seals everywhere as they've kind of taken over your lumber camp and the surrounding area. We would like for this to also take place on Meridian Isle, which is the head of the snake. Getting there will have to be your own problem to solve. You'll need a ship. You'll need a crew, one that you can trust. And you'll need to find a way back to convince your father that you're not working for me. Now, Rags, I want to clarify. I didn't want things between me and your pops to go down like this. But you're kind of like a second son to me. Ever since my old lady died, I find myself holding on dearly to whatever relations I have left. And if it's between him and watching you go to prison for most of your young adult life, I'm choosing you. But it's dangerous. If he figures out that you flipped, anything could happen. I'd like to think he wouldn't hurt you. But I'd also like to think he wouldn't be content to watch you go to prison for the rest of your life. And then there's your aunt, who hates both of y'all and is most likely going to try to use this as an opportunity to take over the family business. It's a complicated situation, kid. You're going to have to grow up a lot faster than I did.
So okay, Ragnar will think about all the options and so what do we do about the aunt? She seems to be our biggest weakness. And what do we do about maybe possibly sweetening the pot if I'm going to be flipping on the entire company and my father? I feel like I should come out with something more than just exoneration.
Well, I think I could probably arrange that. Now, for your aunt, That might be something that's mutually beneficial to us. You and me specifically, I should say. She has a fleet of vessels that it's in my interest to take over. But I would need a legal reason to do so, if you catch my drift. Now, I know there's something wrong with her operation, but so far, she's kept such a tight lid on it, it's hard to get anything on her. I have a little bit of a hunch, though. She runs a caravan trading route all across the country, all across the continent. I've heard that her operation from the south is running arcane flux of the illegal kind. If you can prove it, well, wouldn't be hard to bring her in.
Is this the same? Is the arcane flux? Is that the same thing that was being harvested outside the logging
Mhm.
camp?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Can we shift the blame to her?
If you can figure out a way to prove that she's the one shipping that flux, well then not only are you clear, but that little roadblock will be removed out of your way.
Well, I think we take that route.
All right.
She wants to light it all on fire. I guess we'll give her the same.
It's a dangerous serpent to do battle with, but I think you've got the wits for it. And what about Meridian Isle? Have you thought about that more?
Uh, oof. So this is the option of giving it over or not to
Mhm.
the guilds.
Mhm.
As long as I have a stake in the Isle, I have no problem giving it to the guilds.
We could let you run your own operation out there.
All right, easy. We'll,
Oh, I
we'll go that
could
route.
even make you an officer in my guild.
Sounds like a good deal then. And I'll just
I
agree
think we
to.
have a arrangement for ourselves.
Yeah, this is really touching. Sorry, I've been listening in, but this is a little bit of a fucking conflict of interest for me. Unless you're willing to pay what I already get paid, and maybe then some.
That's why I'm trying to sweeten the pot. I already know your vested interest in my father, so we need to make sure you're accounted for as well.
Now, hold on just a minute here. Are you saying that you're gonna let the company go down, Mr. Steel Brown?
I don't think that was me that let the company go down. That was on my father.
Oh, I'm no sure. Bless your heart. I know you had nothing to do with it. I meant here and now. As you sure you know, I'm employed here at this here company. If it goes down, what is a girl like me supposed to be doing out there? I am a face, not a worker, Mr. Steelbrow.
Uh, so this is kind of kind of where Ragnar will be. He's going to be trying to think about how to take care of the people that could take him down, as they all may have some sort of information. So he's got to try to figure out a way to propose a deal to Barney to make sure the people that could,
Yeah.
obviously Church and Weiss will be both accounted for during that deal as well.
And Truffle, naturally.
Well, yeah, I mean, Truffle. We still don't know what the hell Truffle's deal is, right?
Truffle doesn't know what the hell Truffle's deal is.
Truffle seems so
Truffle's
innocent
lost.
too.
Yeah, seems like it, right?
Got like an alter ego that just pops out every now and then. Those
Yeah.
terrible things.
So I'm a bit. After consideration, he's going to say, Barney, if we can make sure Weiss and my colleagues are accounted for in part of this deal, the exoneration, I want to make sure they also have their employment future settled, and I guess this Truffle fellow too. He'll just kind of like, seeing as he might have the evidence of the missing witnesses, he'll kind of think that, okay, yeah, maybe we should keep him in touch too.
He'll perk up and look up at you. Huh? What'd I miss?
Does he still have his bag with him?
Yeah.
Yeah. With the papers removed, but yeah, the rest of his bag was returned.
So does he? I guess Ragnar wouldn't know that there's. Did they say he's got like human remains in the courtroom?
Yeah,
They claimed it was like human remains,
remains.
but it might not be. It's not like they did forensic study.
Oh, okay. I mean, I didn't know if that was like, the witness tampering shit. I guess that wouldn't matter anyway. They're just gonna sweep it under.
Yeah, it
So
was like
what?
meat soup, and they claimed it was Church's victims. They claimed that the arrangement was Church kills people and then Truffle makes them disappear. Now, whether or not that's true is
Oh, right. Okay, so this is all a big cover up. Okay.
Truffle's like, could be.
All right. So make sure everyone's taken care of in this deal, and let's go forward with it.
Ragnar, you keep
Well.
me out of shackles for 10 years. Fuck your father, I work for you.
And of course, you'll have access to my unique abilities, Mr. Steelbrow.
What? Fucking chain smoking?
Hey, I have to deal with a lot of things going on, Mr. Church. All right, not
Uh-huh.
all of us can just use our mouth to get out of things. She kind of crosses her.
It's literally what
she
you
just
do.
crosses her knees and like moves her dress over. And then after that like pause, she just kind of huffs. Now
Like
I am
awkward silence.
sorry, Mr. Church, for my outburst. You know that I'm very appreciative of your action.
As am I, darling.
She kind of just huffs.
Yeah. As you huff, the hairless tabaxi that is your assistant kind of leans in and goes, "Oh, boys, I think it may be best if we work with Steelbrow the Younger for now. And maybe I can move paperwork here or there to make sure that Steelbrow the Senior does not become aware of this. It could be the longer he knows, the longer he thinks we are working for him, the better for us. We get paid twice, and I charge a lot of money. I need my 15%.
Of course, Shug. I'm not gonna do anything that will put our business in jeopardy. I like the idea. Now we need to keep ourselves astute to the happenings that will be going on. I don't want to be found unknowing.
I agree, madame. I have to also ask, maybe you can use your wily charms to talk to this Barnabas fellow. Maybe instead of becoming a face for Meridian, a company that seems to be on its last legs, you can become a face for one of these guilds. I hear they have good benefits.
The odds. She kind of just like moves her jaw. She'll sit forward away from Philippe. Now, Mr. She slides like her claws across the table towards Barnabas. Mr. Barnabas, was it?
Correct.
Do you happen to have a face for any of your guild movement? I can be very supportive. I've put together many different things that got that company where it was. And she starts to adjust like the bangles that hang on her wrist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Yeah, she just she starts talking just a little bit more and talks about the people that she helped set up, how she got, church safe and in different situations. She can be very persuasive as like her last little bit there.
Yeah, yeah. As
I
you're
say I'm
saying
consistent.
this, you see his eyes kind of like shifting and processing what you're saying. Yeah, I could definitely see how someone with your unique skill set could be quite useful. All right, Miss Edar, I think I can arrange for you to, after all this is over, have your own outfit, maybe with your headquarters positioned on Meridian Isle. The guilds have been toying with the idea of employing rogue crews. They're a little bit more free. Sorry, this is
Every fucking time. Every show. It doesn't matter which one. Every time. I'm making a TikTok. Hey.
in the corner, so tiny. So funny.
What are you doing over there? Why you all tiny
Yeah,
like
what
that?
are you doing over there?
You tell me, man. I don't know.
Yeah, Barnabas says, we've been toying with the idea of having rogue crews that can go undercover, take on more nefarious jobs that other guilds aren't allowed to. Now, see, as it stands, we've got Federation Deliverance, which is a search and rescue guild, the Guiding Star, which is a cartographer's guild, Lucal Venery, which is sort of a bounty hunters guild that help bring in more illegal types, things like that. Then we got Requisitions and Relocations, which specializes in specimen capture of monsters, large beasts, dinosaurs, other sorts of entities. And, well, got a freshly founded rogue crew, which is sort of meant to take on more underground operations with a little less oversight. Now, unlike the other guilds, you get your own headquarters. You wouldn't have to be situated over in Lufton proper, allowing you to kind of go about your business in whatever way you deem fit, and you'd be on retainer with the municipality of Lufton, meaning you'd get your paycheck every month, regardless of whether or not you're working. Along with some other provisions, we could probably get you access to our guild forge, so you could have armor and armaments such as that you would need to carry on whatever business, with the only stipulation being that when we call and we ask you to take on something, you answer. Now, if you were interested, I don't see why you couldn't come out of this with a rogue crew of your own.
Now that sounds mighty fine. As long as my assistant here, Philippe, also is accounted for, I don't want him trudging around with us out there in the middle of nowhere and not have any papers for it. She kind of gestures to the
Mhm.
hairless tabaxi next to her.
Yeah, who
Kind
is
of
like also
assuring that he'll
smoking.
be available. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also smoking. He holds a cigarette like this. Is also smoking next to you.
Now I am
And
mighty fine with that. I can assume a variety of roles.
well, I think we may have a deal then. Ragnar, could I trust you to lead this operation?
I think we'll manage.
All right. I'm gonna. And at this, like, you notice that his assistant has finished drawing up the papers. I'm gonna go ahead and make these official. And then he like turns it around and pushes it over to you.
Okay. Am I supposed to like sign something here?
Yeah, give me an investigation check to see, like, do you read it before you sign it or do you just sign it? I'm actually
I'll,
with Ragnar, who
I'll look
knows?
over. Oh, well, this is gonna be a 50-50, it seems. Yeah, he'll look over, briefly, just to make sure the details of it all are kind of to what he said it was.
Mhm.
All right. Oh God. Just
This looks fine.
yeah, seems good.
It's fine. It's perfect. This is exactly what you wanted. Everything's
Yep.
great.
Yep. Seems good. All right. We'll details check out. Yeah, we'll keep. We'll go with it.
Judge will approach
That's-
Truffle and he'll kneel down. All right, little man, you seem absolutely fucking clueless, so I'm going to tell you what's happening. Either
Thank you.
you go back in that room and they're going to lock you away in prison for at least 3 years just because they don't like you. I think that's pretty fucked up. Or
Why don't they
become a
like
bastard.
me?
They're judging the book by its
Well,
cover, mate.
Oh, I get that a lot.
they're
What are you good
framing
at?
you,
Looks
You got any
like-
sweetheart.
skills?
Oh yeah, I'm good at tending gardens.
Okay.
I'm good at natural things. I'm good at animals. I'm good at disposing of corpses. I'm good at.
There we go.
Uh,
That's all you needed to say.
mm,
You're in. You come with us and we'll
Thanks.
look after
Where are
you,
we
all right?
going? Is it tour time?
Churchill literally over shoulder to Ragnar. He's in, Ragnar. He's good.
Is it tour time?
Y'all are gonna take this
well, he's
poor
gonna be
little
your
fungus
responsibility.
on the worst tour ever.
Or the best. It could be
Or the
horrible.
Or the best.
He'll go up to Barnabas and he'll like pull on his like waistcoat and like
Mhm.
little like Puss in Boots look up and he's like, "Is it tour time? Can we go yet?"
Yeah, I guess it is tour time. Do you got a signature, little fella? Do you know how to
Let me
write?
see. He sticks his hand into his bag of mush, and when he pulls it back out, it's like coated, and he's just gonna like drag his finger across it, and as he does, it'll like do this like crazy like squiggle, and then kind of dissolve
Ooh,
into the paper.
dope. Oh,
Church will sign it, and you'll see that
it's tour time.
it's the exact same signature that they presented him in the courtroom.
Didn't even pretend to hide it.
Barney looks expectantly over at you, Weiss.
She would take a short drag on the long cigarette before offering up her left like paw to hand out for the document. You don't mind if I take a little look at this? I just want to make sure everything is documented correctly for my lovely assistant here. He is a doll in my life, a true gem.
Weiss, we don't have a fucking choice. Just sign it.
Judge, I swear to whatever holy god you follow, you're gonna let me look over these papers, all right, love? All right, Shirley? Like her voice just keeps going up.
It's like massaging his temples.
By all means.
Thank
Slides the paper
you.
over.
She's gonna look it over.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, 18.
I was hoping for like a 3, and she's just like, yeah, this looks good.
Yeah. As you're looking over the papers, you catch two things that Ragnar does not catch. The first is that if you do not succeed in your mission, you will go to prison. And the second is that if you are caught doing anything illegal, the guilds will deny that they've ever hired you. You're kind of on your own if you get caught doing anything illicit. They won't come in and extradite you or say that you're an agent of the city state. You're kind of on your own. It's a little bit of a Suicide Squad situation.
Now, can you outline this here for me? I'm a little confused. She'll kind of purposely slide like her first pointed clawed finger across the like paper, sliding it back to him, but strictly in front of Church, like so that he can see where she's pointing on the paper. This part here, a little confused. You could say the heat's got to me. Lord have mercy. What's this here mean? And she gives this sharp, cat-eyed look at Barnabas as she slides it in front of Church so he can read it.
Yeah.
It's plausible deniability. You think that wouldn't be in there?
Well, it says we're gonna go to prison if we aren't successful.
We're
How
going
many-
anyway.
Church? Church? It's very rude to interrupt a lady, isn't it?
I don't see any ladies in this room.
Shit!
She sits forward, uncrossing her leg and then crossing it over the other one. By George, and there ain't any gentlemen, it seems.
All right, keep your
Lord
claws
have
out.
mercy.
Oh, shit. That was like a hellish rebuke. You know it's bad when the DM is like, whoo!
Yeah, there's like this moment where she's looking at Church and this like darkening of the fur around her like face starts to happen as she looks like she's about to intently have a conversation with him, but decides that there are too many people in the room.
Conversation he
And,
doesn't want to have, so he throws his hands up and walks away.
Yeah.
How
You
many
see
chances do we
Philippe
get?
removing a glove from a very well manicured paw, and he leans over to you, Weiss, and says, "If you want, I will slap this man across his face."
No, Philippe, thank you.
Uncouth.
Church and I have a
And he like spits on the
interesting
ground in front of you,
relationship.
Church, as he goes, "Uncouth."
Church and I have an interesting understanding. A shared destruction. I just want to make sure. How many chances do we get on this here mission of ours?
Well, fortunately for you, little miss, I think if you fail, you'll probably be caught. by Ragnar's father, Senior Steelbrow, and that might be a wrap for you. If you manage to get out of that, I don't see why we couldn't give you another shot. Roll me a d10. Two. But seeing as how you've figured some of this out, he takes the paperback, takes out a quill, and unceremoniously edits the document, kind of scratching out a piece and saying, "But in light of your service, I think instead of you going to prison if this endeavor should fail, can send you for 2 years instead of the full sentencing.
Hmm.
We can call this community service. Knocks a little bit off of what you would otherwise be doing in jail.
Right.
Maybe they let you out in a year for good behavior.
Hmm.
2 years is better than 6.
True. I mean, that's saying that we fail, which we ain't gonna fail, fellas, are we? She'll look pointedly at Church.
Well, I've been saying.
Wonderful.
No
All
one's been saying
right.
it all.
Would this deal only be extended to me? Or, well, everyone? I do have to look out for my own, of course. You understand? And she gestures to Church and not Truffle, but Ragnar. And then finally she comes back and just goes, and Truffle, of course.
You'll all have the same terms.
Wonderful. I think I could agree to that. We aren't gonna fail anyway. We're far too skilled. And she just kind of moves her claws, and a pen will come out from her wrist area, and she'll sign as it just goes back in.
You sign the document, and your fate is sealed for the time being. Instead of being led back to the courtroom where you would be surely sentenced, you are led to a carriage, a guild carriage, ran by Barnabas's own employees and guild members. It doesn't have bars on it this time. As you enter into the back of it, you notice it's richly appointed with tufted velvet seats. And Ragnar, you would know this is Barnabas's personal carriage that he has allowed you the brief use of to take you to whatever destination you so choose. You've got Meridian Isle to the north, for which you'd need a sea vessel, potentially a crew. And to the south, you've got your aunt's caravan to uncover an undercover drug ring, or I guess we could say an arcane ring, for which you would most likely have to go undercover as traders yourselves. Which route do you take? You have a moment to all sit together in the carriage as you discuss what has just happened. You're alone.
Okay. Well,
Truffle will pipe up first. Are we leaving already?
it appears so, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Sorry about your tour,
matter-
mate.
Yeah, me too. It's the only reason I came here.
Don't worry, Shug. I'm sure we can find some lovely little places along the road where we're going. Something you can really dig up, get your little mitts into.
Yeah, I'll probably need a
Really?
shit in like an hour, so you can,
There you go. You can wrestle around in the shit that comes out of that shit. And she just looks at Church, smiling.
He shrugs.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
What was your name again?
Who, me?
Yes, darling. Yes,
I'm
you.
I'm
Bless your
Truffle.
heart.
Truffle
Right.
Fungalhorn.
She looks for a horn somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, No, not a real horn. You see, the stalks of mushrooms. Interestingly enough, the stalks of mushrooms are called horns, oftentimes.
Uh-huh. That's lovely. Bless your
Would
heart.
you like to know more?
Nurgle would
Perhaps.
love this guy. Just like above the table,
Yeah,
Nurgle would love truffle fungal This would be like his best friend.
definitely an inspiration. Yeah.
If she just kind of like pat like the area next to him. Perhaps later when we are a little de-stressed.
Okay.
Precious. And then she like looks back at Steelbrow. Which way are we gonna go, Mr.
Uh,
Steelbrow?
personally, I think my aunt needs to be held accounted for what she's doing to the company. I say we go south. And he'll look around to see if anyone else has any suggestions.
Following your lead, mate.
So it's settled. Let's head south. So we'll be going after Ant and the smuggled drug ring there. Yeah.
Nice. Ragnar, as the carriage moves forward, it's a smoother ride this time, less rocky. Evening falls, giving you all a short respite from the heat. And you move towards your next destination, trying to track down and dismantle Liar Steelbrow's drug ring. You know it won't be easy. You know that Liar is famous for being a liar, as it were, and that her web of deceit is vast, and pinning this on her will be difficult. But I think one good turn deserves another, and it might be Ragnar's chance to get a little bit of revenge for having to take the fall for a bunch of illicit operations he had no part in. Church, what's going through your mind as you're moving towards your next destination?
Church he's not particularly happy that his employer tried to fuck him. But he sees a way out. And he might have to bury a few bodies to do it, but he just met a guy that knows how to get rid of those bodies. So everything's coming up church right now.
Mhm. Truffle, do you have any clue where you are?
Uh, no. I look. There might be something going on beneath the surface with Truffle, but at least at this point, there is absolutely nothing apparently going on behind those eyes. And yeah, he's just kind of along for the ride.
And Philippe leans in, lights another cigarette for you, Weiss. Like, you know, all things considered, this could have been a lot worse for us, yeah?
She will take the cigarette, keeping it close to the door, away from the the people in the carriage. Well, I'm just glad we were able to get out of that stuffy room. We need to focus on what we're going to be doing forward with this situation. Mm-hmm.
You know, this creates a unique opportunity. You know, there's no reason that you should not be at the head of it. You brokered the deal. Maybe this is an opportunity for Mr. Steelbrow to work for you instead of you working for him.
An astute observation. Philippe, an astute observation. We'll see how it plays out. Oh, he gonna be working for me whether he knows it or not. And she kind of smiles and like goes back to relaxing in the carriage as they ride.
Philippe leans back as well, and the carriage moves slowly towards the sand dunes to the south. And that will be where we close this episode. Thank you so much for joining me for this first episode of Crew 4. Got to open it with a court case,
Ooh.
which is a little spicy.
That's so awesome.
I had no clue that we were gonna hit so many of the numbers on the table I made. For the record, the ones we didn't hit were bribery, insurance fraud, violation of environmental law, racketeering, and my favorite, aggravated physical assault.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have loved if Weiss got the aggravated physical assault. That would have been kind of hilarious. Thank you
With
so
a
much
glove,
for joining me. Right? That was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Let's go around
hosting.
and do some sign-offs and let people know where you are and where they can find you and all that stuff. Take it away, Criken. We're gonna go in reverse order this time.
Yeah, I'm Criken. I'm currently in a hotel, but assuming you didn't mean that, then I'm usually at my home and streaming most days of the week at Twitch TV/Criken. This was a lot of fun. Thank you. I am happy to be playing D&D again and with so many friends, old and new. And yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes.
Amazing, Momo.
Hi, I'm Momo. You can just find me on Twitch, just MOMO. And that I usually just play games. I don't really have a direction. I just like good times. I'm happy to be here playing D&D. I adore all the people that I get to play with. I'm super excited. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Tim?
Yeah, I'm Timmac on Twitch. I do primarily GTA roleplay, so storytelling is one of my favorite things to do. So I do that as a police officer right now. So it's a lot of fun there. But this crew here, I don't think I could have picked a better crew for this D&D session. I'm really excited for the weeks to come here.
Yay! That makes me so happy. And Strippin, welcome back. An
Thank
alum.
you. Hey guys, I'm Strippin. I assembled this fantastic group of people so that I can make their life hell and Bronze's life hell, and that is what I intend to do. So, it was a great first episode. Thanks for having me. See you next week.
And that leaves me. Hi, I'm that bronze girl. Yeah, I'm a professional writer. Still feels weird saying that, but you might know me from Dimension 20. I write for Critical Role. I'm on Acquisitions Incorporated. That's probably like my favorite thing I do. And yeah, I also stream on Twitch when I'm not doing any number of those things. So you can check me out there. I'm currently in the throes of Diablo 4, just like everybody else. And I just saw Criken's art in the Discord, and
Ooh.
this adds a layer of context for me that makes me so happy knowing that this weird little guy is in the party.
None of you see the art beforehand. Like you just had to
No,
go
I
in
haven't seen
absolutely
it.
blind on who this
I
person is.
saw it.
Okay,
I
great.
saw it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's
Yeah, it's
no,
so good.
that's a layer for me, y'all. That's he's such a weird little guy.
He's such a weird little guy.
Poor little
He's got layers
guy.
to him.
Yeah, he looks amazing. Oh my gosh, I love him. All right, thank you so much for joining us. You can stay tuned for the Patreon post show. You can check us out on Patreon, Last Call for Adventure, and all of our VODs go up on YouTube as well. You can check us out there. We will see you next Wednesday when the bell tolls in the square again. Have a nice night or day, afternoon.
Bye.
Bye.